Right, hello guys, watching the Geeks Animal, and today we're talking about the Walking Dead series 8. We've talked about series 1 to 7 already if you haven't already on the channel, so check it out. But today we're talking about series 8, episode 1 to 9. We split the series in half because it's such a big series. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to series 8 part 2 next time. But today, episode 1 to 9 this time. There's a hell of a lot that happens. Absolute jam-packed. I think the series so far is really good. Obviously, we have Rick and the guys taking out the outposts. We have Megan's side with Jesus, of course, and we have Rick's side, and we have the jungle, I guess, with the King side. And then all taking out outposts, all things happening. The King side loses his tiger, lion, and his army gets taken, which puts him in a state, and then Carol having to have a head-to-head talk with him to get him on track, because when Negan's men come back and they take over the village, he fights back and gets his people to safety. And we kind of have that going on until Carol and Morgan save him and get him to safety, the King. So that's kind of him done. I think he goes through a massive journey, obviously losing and trying to find out who he is, and Carol remind him of that. I just think him doing that to her, now she doing it to him, is quite a nice parallel and wraps them up quite nicely there. And him pretending to be this make-believe king of such, it kind of puts a reality on him, but he becomes who he was pretending to be anyway. So yeah. We also have more Megan's side with Jesus, of course, them helping Rick as much as they can, but also then Jesus having that captures them people, of course, because basically Jesus gets a load of people and basically has a fight. Jesus and Morgan have a fight for these prisoners who are Negan's men, and Jesus kind of wins and then persuades Megan to keep the prisoners at Megan's place, basically. And throughout all of that, they've kind of been there. And the old dude that kind of used to be in charge, he gets put in the prison as well, which is rightfully so, because he's not to be trusted. And of course, we have the church dude helping that old man, and then that old man just leaving the church dude alone, the priest guy, and then going off, and then going to Megan, and she puts him in prison, rightfully so. But then Negan's men appear and take over again, and now Megan's kind of gearing up for war and has some of Negan's men, of course, to deal with and bargain with, I guess, as well. So you have that going on. Then let's get on to Rick. So Rick kind of at one point gets a deal made, obviously, to get the guns for these people, these tribes, so then they help him. Negan kind of did a backstab sort of thing going on, which caused basically them to turn on Rick's men and the village go into chaos and stuff like that. But eventually, of course, the outposts, Rick decides to take out the outposts, and a lot of Negan's men kind of get taken out. We're all working together. However, it does lead to obviously the King losing some of his men and other stuff happening, of course. But majority of Negan's men have been taken out from the outposts. So it's only just his men now in his main little city thing going on, which Rick manages to bring everyone together and get Negan trapped in. And then the zombies appear, and then they're kind of just trapped. Now Negan and his men are all trapped. Apart from Negan isn't with his men at this point, and that religious dude kind of runs into this place where Negan is. And we have this little heart-to-heart, and we learn about him a bit more with his first wife, his proper wife, and we learn a bit more about who he was before and what this place was, because he took command. He tried to make people stronger. He thought like he could do a better job, and he took control of the situation. So we learn who he is as much as well. And then they have to use the guts to try and the religious dude and Negan to go back to his people. And whilst that's going on, chaos. We've got a rat in the place. There's only one person who would know how to do this if they were helping Rick know all this information and how to do it. So they've got a rat in the mix, which eventually that guy goes off to help Rick anyway. So there's a lot going on here. We also have a revolt against the slavery people. I guess you could say, the people working in the workshops, yeah, they come back up until Negan comes and they kind of bow back down. We have that scientist dude, I don't know his name, he's got the weird hair back, who had the mullet. Yeah, he's working for Negan. He kind of helps get Negan's men out of there and to cause problems and chaos to the jungle tribe, to Rick's city getting blown up to hell, and Megan having to fight back now and have to deal with that as well. So the scientist dude has done a lot of damage, although he then helps the religious dude escape. So yeah, he's kind of mixed and double sides at the moment. But I think he needs to come up and really. But anyway, because he's basically Negan's right hand man at this point. But anyway, that being said, once Negan gets his men and he's out, he's causing chaos and destruction, taking control of things, of course, like I said, and he's blowing the crap out of Rick's place. And the people, Kyle gets the people to safety under the sewers, which is cool. But Kyle also went on another journey, which we saw early on, of Rick scaring off this guy because he doesn't know whether to trust him or not. But Kyle goes back for that guy and helps that guy come to Kyle's village. But then Kyle gets bit by a zombie, and we have an episode basically with Kyle of his day after he's been bit and trying to cope with that and saying his goodbyes and his letters and stuff. And we have all that, and I just think it's really interesting how it's going to affect Rick aftermath. Of course, Kyle's trying to, when he's on his deathbed, basically saying, "You can do better. You can stop this. You don't have to kill everyone," and trying to gives some morals to his dad and reminding him of who Rick really is and stuff, and don't just go on the rampage like he normally does. I like that and I respect that. I think that's really cool. And yeah, Kyle saves everyone getting some to the sewers whilst he's been bit, and the reveal of him getting bit and then having that massive long goodbye, and then Kyle, he killed his mom, so now he has to kill himself. He thinks he should do it. So yeah, Rick's buried him, and now he's going forth, trying to honour and remember his son and what his conversations he had with him now, and we go forth with that. So a lot has happened. A lot of fighting. When we were taking out the outpost, there's so many episodes on that at the very beginning there. And a lot of stuff go down. Some betrayals, some men that gets actually turned out to be good. There's a lot of but these are the basics. And I think we've gone through a journey with a lot of our characters at this point. And of course, we had the woman listening to the music and then taking that pill to kill herself so she could start the war and make Rick not just submit to Negan. So she sacrificed herself for the greater good to start that war to keep fighting Negan, which was an impact that needed to be done as well. So yeah, it's interesting where we're going to go next. Of course, Negan's bombed the hell out of Rick's place and now gone off. We don't know where. We have Megan ready to gear up for war, and we also have the King, Carol and Morgan taking out all the other people from Negan's men that were destroying the village. So we have some wins, we have some falls, we have Rick's men going off to Megan's city for safety. So it's all kicking off. I guess Jesus is Megan's outpost next. They're the society, their little thing going on. Really, it's their last standing thing. So it's going to be a big battle towards the end of Series 8, it looks like. But I'm excited to see where we go. I'm probably going to give this out of 10 a 9. I think this is a solid series. You know what? A 9 out of 10 so far. It could drop back down. We'll see what the next half with episode 10 to 16 do, and then we get on to Series 9. So stay tuned for that. If you want to hear me talk more about The Walking Dead. As always, I do Marvel, DC, Doctor Who, Rick and Morty, James Bond. You name it, really a place to be for a geek like me, so join Johnny and subscribe or follow. And as always, I will see you guys from a review very soon. Have a nice day. And what is your favourite character from The Walking Dead? Let me know down below. And your least favourite. Yeah, mine's Rick's my favourite. My least favourite is that priest guy. But anyway, see you guys next time.